Oh.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our
They
people
can get
have been the
over it.
same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're
True.
saying.
That's
But
fair.
we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Then we
Even if we
execute
end
the
up
ones that
butting heads
don't.
with one person, maybe we'll find
We
better luck
rule
among their
through
friends.
fear.
If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright. To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more. That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you. Duh.
You two just gonna kiss or what? Like, hey, come on. Like,
Did
I
you
don't
just...
I don't got time for this.
Never
I
mind.
just hit my desk.
Thank you, Kisara.
Like, these two are making me
I
upset.
appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
I'm getting violent. I'm getting so I just punched my desk.
Don't even mention it. And
What
really,
is wrong?
when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all,
Oh?
don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before.
What's happening?
But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Stares intently in the eyes of the other. That was awesome. Thanks for that. Oh my gosh, wait, they really are pairing all the characters
Hey,
off.
Why'd you call me here?
Like they
Is there
should,
something you
honestly.
wanted to talk
And they've
about?
done for a while. They've been
Well,
suggesting it, but I'm glad they're actually
If
doing
everything
it.
we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle.
We better be getting close.
So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Like,
Apologize?
I need this game over.
For what?
I was being real stupid before. About whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Runewell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this
See,
whole
this is
time?
just real life. They're doing this whole like
But you
not looking at each
you
other while
really
talking
trust Dennis
thing.
Will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more
They
than
should
the
just
rest of us?
sit in a chair and
Because
just
you
have
can
a chat.
understand it?
Yeah,
No, these
I think that might be part of it.
they were, now they're not.
But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yep.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
like your entire
Because
character.
you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right?
Her coat
But
is
you
so
trust
bright.
it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
What the?
What?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah. Maybe.
Law, he's
35 might be the
thinking
answer.
way above his pay grade. He's just throwing things at the board right now.
You know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own.
Big bad on
Fight for
campus.
who I want to fight for. That's who I am now.
Homie just wants
Who
to
I've
punch
become.
things.
So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
You two kissing
To
or
be
what?
honest, the only reason I was
I'll say it
suspicious of
again.
Dana's will,
Again. I don't got all
well,
day.
I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No. What were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
I like her book. Her book's cool. And then we get the last two. The only two I actually care about. Or not. That's a loading screen.
Are you sure you don't want to get some
no.
rest?
Ooh, okay.
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Shionne?
Same as you. Still trying to absorb everything.
Still A-posing. That's all she knows how to do.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrecht 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
I know this isn't gonna actually happen, but it's just the fact that the thought's getting thrown out I don't like.
But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. You should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shionne.
Thank goodness.
I'm going to fight this until the
Preach, brother. Look, I know everything is gonna go smoothly
You can forgive me for that.
because that's just how plot works. But like,
Alphen.
I hate that the idea is even brought up. Even though it's kind of cliche. The
Okay,
just in case our plan doesn't work,
understand.
kill me
And I'll
kind of
forgive
thing.
you.
But I've become invested, so it means a lot more.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I'm smiling. Shionne smile. Shionne smile. There's only like 2 of those in the entire
I
game.
remember how I
so
felt the first time you touched me.
that is not something
My
I wanted to
thorns
hear.
made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to
That's
me,
funny. I love how he
and
just
gently
he
took
just
my
grabbed
hand,
her and he
you
just
didn't react
sat
at
there and
all. It was so
T-posed
easy
while she
for
was
me.
like, oh my gosh, he's gonna die,
I don't
bro.
have
He's
words
just
for the shock
he's
I felt in
vibing.
that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
I miss his no pain. But you know,
Even
no
once you
pain, no
could,
gain,
though,
right?
You still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before.
Touch him. See what happens. Controller vibration
But
noises.
still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
Yeah, and then you guys can
You think
touch
so?
all you want.
I do.
In a
because
completely PG,
Shionne,
child-friendly way.
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone.
Ah.
Okay.
Look at that. Sorry.
Okay.
That's awesome. Shionne's pretty based. I like Shionne a lot. Pretty swag.
Everybody get enough rest? You ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and
Go to
restore
Rena.
stability to both
Kill
worlds.
bad guy.
We're fighting for a new
Leave.
future for both Dana
Boom.
and Rena.
1, 2, 3.
Right.
3 steps.
We've come this far. We will save our world.
On paper,
That's a
super
promise.
easy. In practice, lots of red
Let's
women
go,
we're
everybody.
gonna have to mow down
One last wall to
relentlessly.
tear down.
So,
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
thank you, Evrek.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
He is the observer. Makes sense.
I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Phasal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Yo, warp drive. That'll allow
Warp
us just
drive?
to get in.
Wait, you mean like what the red women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil after all.
Helganquil.
Using the warp drive,
Me
you
and my
should be
kid
able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being
Helganquil.
detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal?
What's a
once we
little
defeat the
walking
Great
ever
Spirit?
heard? You know
I
what?
have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
I hate the cliff.
The extinction of my people is inevitable.
Anytime I think
at
of
this
any of the
stage.
characters complaining about walking,
As
I just
such,
think of the cliff.
It would be illogical to risk the success
hate
of the
the
mission
cliff.
in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Stop saying that.
Hold up.
You're
did
not
you just...
worthy.
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
You like
As
jazz?
Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy.
I'm sorry.
Similarly, the maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
I don't have a joke for
Success
this.
because others have
I'm just trying to think of it. I have so many in my head. I don't know.
Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically
The real life is that
improbable.
they're doing it for a Klondike bar.
Why
You know, what would
have
you do
you
for a Klondike
continued to
bar?
persist
This guy
under
would live
these
for
conditions?
300 years. That's what he'd do for one.
It's hard to explain.
And Shionne
To be
would
honest, I don't
not
think
touch
it's something
people,
an observer
I guess.
could understand. All right, time to get back on the fall nights.
Alright. That's all. We will we'll kill the Great Spirit tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys then.